The story begins with a jail called Vertical Self-Management Center. A man named Goring opened his eyes and saw that he was locked in room 48. There was nothing except a bed and a sink. And the strange thing was that there was a hole in the middle of the room. There was also a prisoner named Leo in that room, who told that there are hundreds of floors here, and there are 2 prisoners at each floor. Every day, food comes down from this hole, and the prisoners have only 2 minutes to eat. After that, the food goes to the next floor. At the end of every month, prisoners were sent to different floors. When the first food table came to Goring's room, he didn't eat anything, because he decided to save food for the people of the lower floors. Anyway, Leo quickly threw the food and spit on the leftover food, because he knew that the people of the upper floors do the same. Then Goring kept an apple for himself, but as soon as he went under the table, the heat in the room started to increase. Actually, it was forbidden to keep the food with him, so Goring had to throw the apple or he would burn to death. Then Goring remembered the interview he gave before coming to this place. He signed the papers according to which he could not leave the place. Every prisoner was allowed to take one thing in jail, and Goring brought his favorite book with him. Goring came here at his will, and after 6 months he will get a lot of money. The next day, Goring did not eat anything again. He asked Leo about his story, and he told that one day he saw a knife ad on TV and bought it, but in a few days, a company found a better knife than that. Leo got so angry that he threw the TV out of the window, which fell on a walking man and died on his spot. After that, Leo was brought there, and he has remained up to the 132th floor, but he said that there are more floors here. The prisoners of the lower floors are often hungry because the food does not reach there. Now Goring thought that if everyone eats the same food, then even the prisoners below can reach the ration. For this, Goring talked to the people of the lower floor, but no one paid attention to him. Then Leo peed in the lower floor and showed his knife, which he brought with him in jail. The next day, when the table came, Goring ate food, but suddenly a man came down from the upper floor and fell. Leo said that this happens often, but no one can do anything about it. Leo said that they will be together for the next month. And then Goring understood from his words that when Leo was on the bottom floor, he was killed by his partner due to hunger. Next time when the table came, a woman named Miharu sat on it. Goring saw that she was injured, but Leo told Goring to stay away from her. Miharu used to sit on the table once every month and go down, so that he could find his lost child. She also used to kill many prisoners so that he could keep her with her son for the next month. Maybe the man who fell earlier was killed by Miharu. Leo told him that he didn't kill anyone, but only ate the flesh of the body that fell in his room. After that, when Miharu went to the next floor, the prisoners tried to take advantage of him. Goring screamed and tried to stop him, but Miharu killed him soon. Finally, the month was over and all rooms were filled with gas, and the prisoners were put to sleep. When Goring's eyes opened, he was tied to the bed on the 171st floor. Leo tied him up because Goring is young, and he has to protect himself from Goring. Then the screams of screaming came from the rest of the floors, because everyone's goals had changed. When the table reached Goring's room, there was not even a grain left to eat. After 8 days, Leo said that he was very hungry, and he had to eat something. Poor Goring begged for mercy, but Leo took out the meat from Goring's leg with his knife and started eating it. But then Miharu came to the table. Miharu remembered that Goring tried to help him, so Miharu jumped on Leo and attacked him with his knife. Then he freed Goring and gave him a knife, and Goring killed Leo in one blow. After that, Goring fainted, and when he opened his eyes he saw that Miharu had bandaged his leg with a sheet, and she was sitting near and eating Leo. He fed Goring some meat and then went down without saying anything. After a few days, worms started coming on Leo's body and Goring started eating him. Kerjald hi uski dimag hi halat bigarne lagi aur usse Leo kabhut dikne laga. Akhirkar mahina katanhua aur kamre me gasfail gai. Ab ki bar jab Leo ki ankuli tu usne dekha ki yekutta use chat rahada. Gaurang dekha ki abuse emo nam ki eklad ki ke saath rana hoga. Ema wahilad kiti jizne uska interview liada. Wapne sathap na kutabila yidi aura bodono 33 vi manzil parda. Wolad ki thodi sankisi the aryaha parapni marzi se ayidi. According to him, there were 200 destinations here. But Gorung said that yes, there will be, but the food is not even for 50 for years. On this, Emo said that if everyone eats according to their needs, everyone's stomach will be full. But for this, all the prisoners have to be one group. But Gorung said that this will never happen. Later, when the food came, Emo fed himself and his dog only according to his needs. Then he prepared a plate for 2 people. And when the food reached below, he asked the prisoners to eat from the plate he made and said, "Please make a plate for the next prisoners." Anyway, it is necessary that no one listened to him. And Goring again said that I have done all this, and I have seen that there will be no benefit. Parimo did not give up and told people to eat according to their needs every day. After 2 weeks, Goreng got annoyed and told the prisoners downstairs that if they don't, Goreng's plan was successful, and the prisoners started to deliver the same message. After some time, the table came and Miharu was unconscious. Goreng and Emo laid him on the bed. Even in the evening, when he was not conscious, the poor Goreng fell asleep on the ground. But when he opened his eyes, he saw that both the girls were fighting to eat. The next day, she sat on the table and left. Gorange told Emo that Miharu is looking for her lost child. But Emo said that is she crazy or she came here alone 10 months ago. Then we found out that Emo actually has cancer. Anyway, the last day of the month came soon, and Gorange gave her something to eat. Because it is possible that nothing could happen tomorrow. But Emo did not get up from the bed. The next morning, Goreng woke up and saw that he was on his 202th destination. And there were so many more destinations below him. Seeing this, Emo could not control herself, and she died. Then Goreng showed the ghost of Koleo and said that Goreng would eat this girl too. Suddenly, he saw Emo and his dog, who were saying that he should eat Emo's flesh. Goreng tried his best not to come into their trap. He started to tear some pages of his book so that he wouldn't get hungry. Then he started counting the days by pulling the lines from the glass on the wall. After a while, the prisoners' rooms changed. And this time, Gorang was happy because he was on the 6th floor. There was a Miharu in that room, and he suddenly attacked Gorang with a knife. But in reality, it was just a dream. Asal main Gorang ke kamre me Bruno namka ek admi da jo apne sath layada. Voya soch karbahut kush ho raha da ki rasi ki madad se building ke top tak ponch jayega. Jabos ne panchvi manzil ke logan se madad mangi tu unhone Bruno ki rasi pakarli. Parja Bruno par chat raha da tu par se kaidi ne Bruno ke moon petati kardi. Achanak Bruno niche girpada aur end wakt par Gaurang ne uski jan bajai. Is sabke chakar me rasi bi niche girgai. He was able to see again. Leo told him to be brave because now only 1 month is left. And Emo reminded him that nothing changes suddenly. Hearing all this, Gorang got excited and decided to make a plan with Bruno's help. According to the plan, he will take any weapon and jump on the table and give everyone the same food that every prisoner can eat. Gorang calculated the speed of the table that there will be 250 levels here. Bruno also joined him and he broke the bed and made iron weapons. Then he jumped on the table and reached the 7th floor. Goring said that these prisoners should not get anything because they had eaten yesterday and will eat again tomorrow. So they have to start distributing food from the 50th floor. Gradually, he kept going down and no one even touched the food. After some floors, Bruno met an old man named Bram Bang, whom he respected a lot. He said that you are doing a great job, but what will you feed the people of the last floor? Then Bruno and Goring chose a delicious thing called panna cotta, and thought that if this thing reaches the last floor, it will have a very good effect. In the same way, they continued their mission, and started moving forward while protecting panna cotta. When they reached the 50th floor, they started giving food in equal parts, and everyone was very happy with it. When he came to the 97th floor, he met an old man. Gorenk fed the poor old man some soup. Next floor was just a dead body, and Gorank immediately understood that this is Miharu's room. He didn't stop there because there was no one alive. Soon, Gorank understood that his calculations were wrong, and there would be more than 250 floors here. Then he saw that two men were attacking Miharu on the next floor. One had a sword in his hand, and the other was very strong. So when Goran and Bruno jumped to save him, it was very difficult to fight for them. Bruno killed the first man, and then he met Goran and finished the wrestler. But it was too late because Miharu was already dead. Goran started crying in his sorrow, but Bruno pulled him to the table. After that, he kept distributing food on every floor, although there were only dead prisoners' corpses on many floors. Finally, tables stopped at the 333th floor, and he thought this is the last floor. He thought there was no one here, but actually there was someone hiding under the bed. It was no one else but Moro. Actually, he was the lost child of Miharu. Bruno and Gorank moved towards the boy, and as soon as he moved away from the table, he started going down again. Then Gorank told Bruno to quickly throw the panna cotta in the hole, but Bruno refused to do so. Although he stole the food, the room did not get hot or cold. After a long struggle, Bruno gave the peacock food. The three stopped at the same destination and started to annoy Gorank, Leo, Emo, and now the ghost of the then. The next time the table came, Gorank climbed it with Moro, and in the same way, they reached the last floor, where there was nothing but darkness. Finally, Gorank was shown by Leo, who was telling him to get off the table because he was not part of the message. And finally, they both started looking at the table, which was going up again with Moro. They hoped that maybe the prisoners above could understand the situation below by looking at Moro. And it is possible that one day all the prisoners will start sharing food and drink, thinking about each other. If you liked the video, then like it and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.